Going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Welcome to another episode or another show on Sheep Stay Sleep Live, Sheep Stay Sleep live stream. Welcome everybody. You know, shout out to the family. You know, got two good shows lined up for y'all tonight. You know, hopefully y'all enjoy it. Hopefully y'all chime in on the conversation. I'll put the link out in the chat in a minute. Y'all know how I do. You know, so tonight, y'all see the topic: passive aggression /victimhood, you know, and that's what we're gonna talk about tonight, y'all. A lot of people that we come in contact with or around, a lot of them have passive aggressive behavior, you know, and I think this affects the way we deal with one another. And this is why I feel like this is a great topic that need to be discussed, family. Passive aggression /victimhood. You know, a lot of people like to play the victim. You know, it's always me. So we got to talk about that, family, because we only strong as the person that's behind us or the person that's supporting us. See, we all have to be strong, family. We cannot be weak and pretend to be strong. You know, I'm not saying that we have to be Superman or Superwoman, but playing a victim and exhibiting passive aggressive behavior is only going to set us back. It's only going to keep us in conflict with one another. It's not going to lead to any progression. We have to get out of this victim mentality. We have to stop saying what somebody did to me. Oh, look what they did to me. We have to understand, family, that we all living in the world where negative and positive exists. And being a victim all the time or feeling like a victim all the time is not going to help you. It's only going to hurt you. You see? There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable at times. That doesn't mean that you're weak. But making yourself vulnerable all the time and then complaining about being vulnerable is two different things. Excuse me, y'all. But this is why we must understand what is passive aggression. What are some of the traits, some of the behaviors of passive aggression? And see, I put it in the title. One of them, and the one that I'm really going to focus on tonight is victimhood. People who always portraying to be a victim. People who come from that stance or that space when relating with people. We have to stop relating to each other from a victim space, you know, because we will never get to true freedom or true happiness, you know, or true love, you know. Nobody wants to love a weak person. And even weak people don't like weak people. Even weak people like strong people, you know. But I understand that things take place in people's lives that makes them feel like they're victims or that they were born victims. I understand that. But see, we cannot let those things make us become passive aggressive. We can't let those things rule our life where we think that that's all we're going to experience. Because if the mind is all and all you think about is being a victim, then that's what would you that's what you would produce in your life. That's You would always put yourself in a predicament or situation where you will be a victim because mine is all below. As a man thinketh, so he shall be, you know? So we have to understand that, family. If we constantly feeling like a victim in a situation, then you're never going to feel powerful. You're going to always blame people for why you're weak, why you lost, why you didn't get your just due, why people don't respect you. See, that's another trait of passive aggression too. Always blaming somebody, always talking about what somebody did to you, never looking at what you did or what you showed somebody to make that person respond to you. You see, nobody likes a weak person. Even in nature, when you look at animals, weak animals don't survive. So all that passive aggressive shit, you're gonna get eaten alive. You see? And that's why people project victimhood, because some people just give up. You know, some people stop fighting. Some people start saying, well, this is just my life, you know? And family, we have to get out of this mindset. We have to get out of this emotional state. We have to stop feeling like this, you know, because it's a defeated it's a defeated way to feel about yourself. You can't compete feeling like a victim. And I'm not saying compete with your brother or your sister, but compete in the world, you know? Or always feeling like the victim takes the fight out of you. You don't want to fight for nothing no more. You become less ambitious. You have a weak will, you know? So we have to watch this thing called victimhood and these passive aggressive behaviors. Excuse me, y'all. But I'm going to go and I'm going to give y'all the definition of passive aggression. And I'm going to just give y'all some concrete facts on what passive aggression is and what it's about. Because, you know, y'all might not take my word for it. you know. So I'm gonna give y'all the exact definition for it, and I'm gonna continue after that. Shout out to everybody in the chat, you know. Good looking on coming through on this episode of Sheep Stay Sleep Live. And everybody in the chat, I could tell, you know, y'all not sheep, y'all awake. So shout out to y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna put myself on mute for a second while I get my notes and stuff together. So give me a second, y'all. So I'm back, family. And it says in psychology, passive aggressive behavior is characterized by a habitual pattern of passive resistance to expected work requirements, opposition, sulliness, stubbornness, and negative attitudes in response to requirements for normal performance levels expected of others. Most frequently, it occurs in the workplace where resistance is exhibited, such as indirect behaviors like procrastination, forgetfulness, and purposeful inefficiency. It also says some of the behaviors is learned helplessness. You ever been around a person like that, y'all? That they just act so helpless, like they can't do nothing on their own. Like the most simplest things, they need your help. Like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is too hard for me. That's passive aggression. That's called learned helplessness. Procrastination, stubbornness, resentment, sulliness, or deliberate or repeated failure to accomplish requested task. So basically, what they saying is that passive aggressive people, they do things deliberately, but they act like they didn't know how to do it, or they didn't know that they was doing something wrong, and they repeatedly do it, almost to the point where you like, I don't understand how you're not getting it, but they continue to act like they don't understand what they're doing. It says other examples of passive aggressive behavior might include avoiding direct or clear communication, evading problems. We all know people like that, that evades problems, avoiding direct or clear communication. These are people that you see in the street. You know how you see people talking in the air? That's what that is. Fear of intimacy or competition. Those are people that are afraid to engage in dialogue with a person. Making excuses is always an excuse why something is not getting done. It's always an excuse why you keep doing the same shit that you said sorry for a million times. Blaming others. Blaming others. Playing the victim. sarcasm, backhanded comments, and hidden anger. You see? See, these backhanded comments is traits of passive aggression. And see, I catch things like that, and then when you call somebody on that, they like to act like they didn't say nothing. And then they start playing the victim. See, all of these are traits of passive aggression. And see, we have to be able to detect things like this in people, because that's going to determine the type of relationship you're going to have with that person. See, a lot of conflict is created through passive aggressive behavior, because usually you have one person that's direct and then you have a person that's indirect. And that's where the conflict is. It says passive aggression in conflict theory is resembled or described as catty, as it consists of deliberate, active, but carefully veiled hostile acts, which are distinctively different in character from the non-assertive style of passive resistance. So what that's saying is that catty behavior, the slick remarks, somebody say something you don't like, you suck your teeth. See, all of those things are forms of passive aggression. And they do it deliberately. See, that's the key. That's where the aggression comes in. They do it deliberately. But it's veiled hostile acts. So they try to hide it like they not being negative or they not attacking you. It's veiled hostile acts. And then how they cover it up is by resorting back to victimhood. This is not going to get us anywhere, family. You see? This is why I always say we must work on ourselves. This is why I always say we must heal before we build. We can't keep talking about building nothing if we can't heal ourselves to build our relationships. See, before we talk about building a business, we need to build our relationships. And the relationships is hard to build because of people and their behaviors. And some people don't get along with other people who have certain types of behavioral traits, because that causes conflict. You see, that causes conflict when you're dealing with a passive aggressive person, a person who want to play the victim, but then attack you subtly or attack you subliminally. But then when you come directly, they run in the corner and play victim. They run in the corner like a little scared cat. Oh, why you doing that to me? Veiled hostile attacks. That's passive aggression, family. And we have to be aware of these type of people. We really do. Because these people who like to play victim, they be the ones keeping the shit going. They be the ones keeping the chaos going. Because they hide it. It's veiled. You see? We got to watch people and understand that these people exist. And they may come in the form of a friend. See, I learned this for myself. from experience. A person can hold resentment for you and be around you every day of your life. See, I learned that. I experienced that. You think a person got just as much love for you as you got for them, and then y'all get into a simple disagreement, and you find out this person been resenting you for years. They start bringing up shit you did 10, 15 years ago. They want to throw it in your face. See, that's passive aggression. Because you could have told me about that shit 10 or 15 years ago, but you held it and it turned into resentment. Because another form or another trait of passive aggressive behavior is to avoid effective communication. So if you got a problem with somebody, instead of you coming to them directly and speaking to them directly and open, you be indirect and talk in circles and say little cliffhanging statements. So it can have you thinking about some shit. And that's just that person being passive aggressive, because they're afraid to say what they really want to say, because then it's going to reveal who they really are. And this is why people perpetuate victimhood. See, that's the wolf in the sheep's clothing, you know? And we got to watch those types of people, y'all, because those types of people are toxic. Those are the type of people who destroy movements. The one who creates the infighting and keep it going. See, that's what happened to the Nation of Islam and Malcolm X. And you saw that in the movie. See, they kept the infighting going. You see? And Malcolm played right into it. He kept it going. He started going to them women and asking those women, did they have children by Elijah Muhammad? You see? So we got to understand, family, that this is counterproductive. It's never going to help us. And we just got to stay away from passive aggressive people. We really do. Passive aggressive people don't contribute nothing. They're only around to stir the pot, to stir the pot of chaos. We got to understand that. We cannot unify and be disorganized. Unification and organization go hand in hand. And a passive aggressive person keeps chaos going. Veiled hostile acts. So we have to understand, family, what's going on. And that war, you know, shout out to True Royal Family, that war that she likes to speak about. See, we have an inner war too. And this is the flaws, it's the flaws that's in people's personalities. And people take on these things as lifestyles. So they run around and play the victim. They take on these things instead of using them and growing from it. But see, some people like to be weak. And some people like to act weak too. So we have to watch these people, family. Because like I said, these are the wolves in the sheep's clothing. These are the snakes in the grass. You see? These be the confidential informants. So we got to understand how deep this goes. Because resentment is real. Jealousy is real. And it all goes back to self. Some people hate themselves so much that they just project it on other people. That's just what they do. Because they're not willing and strong enough to say, listen, this is what I got to work on for me. You see? And see, we got to watch our behaviors because our children learn from it. See, we don't want passive aggressive men in society. That's beta males. And this is why our women always complaining about, men not being real. It all goes back to the passive aggressive behaviors. It all ties into being a victim, you know? I was treated bad, so now I'm gonna treat women bad. That's perpetuating the victimhood. You want to be a victim. So now you want to treat people fucked up. You know? Now you want to lie and lead people astray because you're hurt about something. And instead of you telling that person what you're hurt about, you create a whole hostile environment and never say what you want to say, but you say what you want to say through your passive aggressive actions. You see? So we got to understand how these behaviors really affects the communication between us. Because like I said, when you're dealing with passive aggressive people and you're not passive aggressive, a lot of times there's going to be conflict because a person is going to know that this person is not saying what they want to say. They beating around the bush, you know, always telling lies, blowing blowing situations out of proportion. See, people do that so they could perpetuate being a victim. Oh, look what they said to me. How they gonna say that about me? And then they act like, oh, they wasn't supposed to say that to me, but forgetting that you done went around and said what you said, never acknowledging what part you play. See, people who are passive aggressive and always projecting to be the victim never wants to be held accountable for their behavior. They never say what they do, or they lie about it because they could never be direct. You see? And we have to understand how dangerous these people are. These are dangerous people. You see? So we got to watch these people, family, especially nowadays, because I notice, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody. Thanks for coming through and showing love. But I notice a lot of black people nowadays, we want to do better. You know, we want to organize. We want to unify with one another. So people see that. And some people look to destroy things that they don't want to be a part of. You see? So what they're going to do is they're going to act like that they down with you. They're going to act like that. But behind the scenes, they're going to be trying to sabotage the movement by stirring the pot, by creating infighting, by gossiping. See, gossip is a dangerous thing. Gossiping and keeping gossip going, that stirs the pot. Then when somebody approach you, you say you didn't say that. See, that's passive aggression. But you know what you were saying. You knew everything when you were saying. And see, most people that do that, when they were saying the shit that they were saying it in confidence. But then when they get approached or called out, oh, I didn't say that. Why would I say that? See, that's passive aggression. That's what that is. Because they ass got called to the table. We got to watch these people, man. These people don't have nothing to offer. Because anybody that want to keep shit going inside of the melanated family, knowing what we dealing with every day, dealing with the system, it's a black cracker, man. You keep stirring that pot, then you want to see us in the predicament that we're in. You advocate for disunity. You advocate for separation because you're going to keep stirring that pot. And see, most people who do this, they really like what they're doing. They like it. But they like to play like they don't know what they're doing. You see? So this is not helpful to us at all. In no way, shape, or form. We should not do business with these people. We should not communicate with these people. Nobody's perfect. I understand that. But you have to make a well-informed decision to perpetuate victimhood for the rest of your life. You have to make that decision to give up. And this is why you cannot be a part of any movement. We need people that's going to fight. We need people that's going to fight to the death. We don't need people that's going to perpetuate the victim. You have nothing to offer the movement because you don't want to hold yourself accountable. You don't want to be responsible for what come out your mouth from what you do. You always want to point the finger. That's immaturity. We got to grow up, family. We got the youth looking at us. And we really need to pay attention to the youth because the youth could teach us more than an adult. Most of these kids growing up nowadays, they know. They got it figured out. That's why they ain't doing all that arguing. You wonder why the youth don't want to participate in the conscious community? Because of all this passive aggressive bullshit going on. People say something to you, you having a conversation or a debate with them, you throw a backhanded comment out there. That's passive aggression. We got to stop that shit. And then turn around and say, I love you, family. You see? And see, another form of passive aggression is when you got people holding people up in they bullshit too. See, don't hold nobody up in they bullshit. Don't hold nobody up that's playing a victim. Don't do that. Because now you being passive aggressive, holding them up in that bullshit. See, because that happened to me on the live stream. A brother says something disrespectful. He said a backhanded comment to me. I called his ass out on it. And then he ran and wanted to play the victim. Oh, I ain't never disrespect you. Yes, you did. You threw a backhanded comment out there. That's passive aggressive. You know what you're doing. You know why you said what you said. Because you didn't like what I was saying. But instead of you saying that, you threw a backhanded comment out there. And then when I came directly for you, play the victim. Oh, I ain't disrespect nobody. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. See, we got to stop shit like that because it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, family. And see, then when they got spectators watching them and they sitting there playing the victim, they wait for somebody to come and save them. Oh, why you said that to them? You ain't have to say it like that. Now you holding them up in they bullshit. That has to stop too. See, we have to start dealing with each other in core truth. If we not being 1,000 with each other, don't deal with each other. Because it shows in the behavior. See, we could talk all we want. We could sound eloquent all we want. But the question is how you going to respond when you feel like you tested? How you going to respond? And see, that tells your true intent. Are you here to build or are you really here to prove a point? You see? Are you here to build, or are you here to just make friends and have a bunch of cheerleaders cheering for your ass? See, question yourself. Ask yourself, what am I doing this for? What is my purpose? Because if you out here stirring the pot trying to keep shit going, you're not here to build. That's some teenage little kid shit. You hanging out with your homeboys or your homegirls and y'all all talking about each other, but y'all all playing like y'all friends. That's not what this shit is about. Take that shit somewhere else. Take that junior high school shit. Take that shit somewhere else. Oh, guess what they said today? I think they was talking about yo. Keep stirring that pot. And what you doing that for? For what? Because you not here to bring nothing to the table. You don't have nothing to offer. You see? And this is why I say intent speaks louder than action and words. Because a passive aggressive person intent is to subliminally harm you. You see? It's to indirectly harm you. So they may not say something to you that they want to say to you, but they might tell somebody else and get that person to tell you, or just get that person to talk about it. See, that's a subliminal attack. That's all passive aggressive behavior. This is something that is not light. It should not be taken lightly. Not at all. This is something serious. Because, like I said, I've dealt with this in my personal life, with people secretly resenting you. People secretly envious of you, or envious of what you can do, your ability. See, some people just may resent you because they see your potential. So they do little things to kind of sabotage you, you know? So we have to watch this behavior, family. I'm getting ready to open up the chat, or the panel rather, to anybody in the chat that want to come on, render y'all voice on this topic, and let's keep the bill going, family. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out for showing me love. It's very, 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 very appreciated, man. For real. So I'm gonna put the link out there right now. Y'all hit the link, come through, and render y'all voice, family, on victimhood or passive aggressive behavior. Do you know anybody that's passive aggressive? Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody that's passive aggressive? Let's get into it, family. You know? So y'all come through, Render your voice. You just want to be careful with the link. Yeah, you right, Jade. I ain't worrying about that. That's why I got the wrench gang on deck, you know? You know. But the link is there, family. Y'all come through and join the conversation. Good looking out, Megla. Hit the link, bro. Come and join the conversation. Everyone's voice is permitted on my platform. As long as y'all come with respect, there's no issue. What's up, little bro?
So man, hey, I gotta tell you what happened. Them folks over there on this YouTube but go by the name of True Freeman too. That was over there. They was on it just kept trolling. I see more dislikes ever. I'm like, God, Lee, and they up there putting 30K on people on 30 put bounty on his kid's head. That's what happened.
Oh, okay, good looking, little bro. Got anything else you want to say?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say.
All right, so you can stay on if you want to. Peace, JT. How you, bro?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm good. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. All I could say, this is a timeless um, topic that we definitely needed up because either way we are suffering, and and I feel that each of us need to take a good look of ourselves, including myself, to see, do I have either one, and we got to correct it quickly if we want to transform ourselves to be better people for our community. We have to understand that we gotta understand that we have to set examples. We have to lead. And for me is, I'd rather let my action than talking. Cause anybody can talk, but are you backing it up with leading? And I know for me, that's what I'm focused on. And the ones who start up things, gotta see for what it is. It's like this. If a person knows there's no water in the cup, you know what to fill it up. That's the only way you're going to drink that water, if you put it in a cup. So what we need to do is to understand that there's going to be some people that just going to do some devilish things. That's part of their nature. But we don't have to partake in that. We do have choices to make to transform ourselves to be better people. Better people, better community, better nation build, better race. So I know I'm taking upon myself to do whatever I can to improve. That's it.
Peace, bro. How you? Welcome to the panel.
Peace, peace. What's going on? Black Power.
Black Power, King.
Um, yeah, I just wanted to come in and just say, I don't know if you're talking about anybody in particular, I have no idea. I don't really care because, the topic itself resonates with me because I dealt with a lot of victims in my time, then had relationships with them, that been friends with them and everything else. I'm not going to get too deep into detail, but let's just say the topic strikes home with me. So, and I totally understood everything you were saying, and you're correct. I left a comment in the chat. I hope nobody thought I was talking about them, but I was pretty much just saying, whenever you find these people within your circle, because you don't never know at first that this person is that type of person that is going to play the victim all the time. And once you find out that this person is like that, the best thing to do is probably just remove yourself from that situation. Either remove them from the circle or you move yourself from the circle altogether, because yeah, nothing good is going to come out of it. Just like you said, they're going to be the ones who's going to keep the drama going, keep all the bullshit going and everything else, and then they're going to turn around and act like everybody's messing with them. Nothing's ever their fault. They always pointing the finger. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
No doubt, no doubt. Peace, boss. How you, King?
What's up, bro? Peace to everybody in the chat. What's up to everybody in the chat? What's up to everybody on the panel?
What's good,
Peace.
boss?
I mean, bro, I know definitely what you're talking about with that passive aggressive bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's scary shit. I mean, if you got something to say to somebody, say it. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody got time to be, playing no guessing games and all that other type of silly shit, you know?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because see, this is the thing. You can't be one way in one life and then be another way on YouTube or, social network, period. You got to be that same type of person. That's just like for me. I wouldn't let nobody disrespect me in the street. So why fuck would I let somebody disrespect me on social network? You know what I'm saying? And if I do have an issue, which I haven't had in a minute, if I do have an issue, oh, best believe I'm gonna handle the situation, and I don't care about what nobody talking about on the sidelines about uh we should be doing this, that, and the third, because of a lot of people that sit and they speak and they say we shouldn't fight and we shouldn't do this or do that. You can go back in receipts and find them. They was banging with people. You know what I'm saying? They got lines of banging with people. You know what I'm saying? It be a lot of lying and shit going on, especially on this YouTube shit, bro. That passive aggressive faggot shit. You know what I'm saying? For instance, bro, you know, if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. It might hurt your feelings, it might not, but oh well. I'm cool until the bullshit come my way. And I ain't never ran and got nobody to handle nothing for me. But see, a lot of people on YouTube, they doing that shit. They can't, if somebody addressing you, address them back. You ain't got to run and go and get two and three other different people. Then you got people going on other people's, shit, throwing out subliminals. And that's the same way when you get into somebody else's shit. And then when somebody get on you, then you want to play the passive aggression role. I don't know what the problem is. People be putting themselves in other people's shit. And then when somebody say something to them, they want to act all sissified, and want to play the I'm the victim role and all this other type of shit. I don't like shit like that, bro. Be the same way that you is off of YouTube, that you is on YouTube. I'm like I told you, I ain't gonna ever sit up here and say that I'm pro-black or I'm pan-African. I'm a black man that's down with his black community. But at the same time, I'm not gonna let my people in my community disrespect me either. You can love your people, but at the same time, at a certain point, the respect stops and then it starts again. You know, a lot of people on YouTube need to mind their own fucking business and stick to what they doing. And then another thing, all these people be on this YouTube shit lying. I ain't a part of no clique. I'm by myself. These motherfuckers be lying because everybody on YouTube got people that they fuck with and people that they don't fuck with. Let's be honest and throw this shit for real on the table here. Because I'm tired of hearing people talking about ain't no clicks. It's always clicks when you dealing with people, and then you got people you don't deal with.
But wouldn't a clique be like a group of individuals all conspiring together not to be messing with certain people? Like
What
I
you
think
say?
it, wouldn't a clique be considered like a group of individuals that would all like conspire not to mess with certain people? Like because everybody got their own little personal circle, but
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so what do these people be talking about? You just said it. Everybody got their own circle of people. So why is people making statements about cliques when they got their own certain circle of people that they deal with? It's the same thing. It's the same scenario.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
Exactly.
feel you.
That's that passive
You
aggression.
know exactly that silly shit. You know what I'm saying? That Bill Cosby picture paid bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Be a man, be a woman. If you got something to say to somebody, say it and let the shit be that. If y'all don't fuck with each other, y'all don't fuck with each other, cool. But it's always the people on the sidelines, they the ones that be keeping this shit going. And then when you bring them in it, then they want to act stupid. If I put myself in a situation or somebody else's beef, that's just like, my sister True Royal. Big shout out to True Royal. You know what I'm saying? When the whole situation was going down with her, I ain't like that shit. So I put myself in that. And I'll stamp that for anybody that want to know. I put myself in that because that shit wasn't cool. So anything that came my way, I had to take it and deal with it. I ain't gonna never play victim to nothing. I'm a smash. That's what I'm gonna do and go on about my business. So that's where I'm at with it.
See, like I said, bro, a lot of people don't want to be held accountable for what part they play and stuff. But when the consequences come down, they want to run from it and act like they was never part of anything. And that's the problem with our people. And look at a lot of our movements that we've dealt with, as far as our own people turning state's evidence on each other, being confidential informants. Look at what we had to deal with. People who played like they was down, and soon as they got the chance to hurt everybody or hurt whoever they wanted to hurt, they did it.
Exactly. Half these motherfuckers, the shit they say on this YouTube shit, they wouldn't dare say that shit to somebody in person. They wouldn't dare. Same motherfuckers that be talking that shit, man, they wouldn't say half the shit they say to people on the streets. They probably don't even, people probably don't even know them. Probably just from school. These are same motherfuckers that used to get their fruit snacks took from them in lunch. And now they grown and don't nobody, you know, really know about them. So they can talk that shit. If we
And
gonna
see,
build, cool. If we gonna talk about the black community, cool. I could do that with you. You want to talk sports, cool. You want to talk life, period, cool. We can have conversations like that. But once that disrespect come, I'm handling that shit. Flat out. And then I'm gonna get back to what I was talking about, or what was the last thing on my mind. I'm gonna deal with you, and then I'm gonna go back to whatever I was talking about.
see, we gotta understand, bro, that this type of behavior, man, is keeping us stagnated in what we trying to do. And this is why I say we just gotta leave these type of people alone. Leave them to themselves, man. Leave them out on their own island by themselves.
Mhm.
Because the more we give them attention, the more they're gonna feel like they're validated in what they're doing. And that's why it's not good for people to join a bandwagon
Mhm.
and holding them up in their victimhood. You know, I hear a lot of our women say that black men need to stop saying it's the system. We need to stop blaming the system. We need to stop perpetuating victimhood. But what about these passive aggressive people?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about them?
Got more-
What are they valid reasons for projecting victimhood? Go ahead, JT.
No, I was just agreeing you see that's a miscomponent in our community, and this is the shit keep on going and go more on board point. It's like this that when you got people stand on the sideline, they don't say shit. They keep shit going. You got other people that know what the fuck is going on. Excuse my language. I want to respect your hangout, your live stream. Pardon me. They don't say nothing about it. Then they start going in the corner and start being damn judgmental. But when that heat comes, they want to bitch up. So if you're about that, be about it.
And see,
That's it. That's it.
we gotta
Yeah.
understand how these traits of passive aggressiveness leads into other things in our lives. It leads to procrastination, you know? And I've dealt with that. And I dealt with that a lot of times with people who claim they want to do business, you know, or people who claim they want to create something or start a project. See, a lot of times people procrastinate because they really don't want to do what you're doing because they feel like they're not going to get the accolades that you may get. And see, that leads to resentment. A person start feeling like, oh, this person think they better than me. When at the end of the day, it's you. So we got to understand how these things trickle down into our everyday living and how it trickles down into our children and how that's going to affect them. Because see, that's my main focus. We got to get better because our children is watching and they have to see us make mistakes, but they also have to see us be accountable and be responsible for our actions. It's a lot of passive aggressive men out here, beta males. A lot of our women, you hear a lot of our women saying they want a real man. All they saying is that they want a man that's going to tell them the truth. But a lot of times they don't know how to deal with that, because when you a man that tell the truth, you going to tell them the truth about them. And passive aggressive people don't want to hear the truth about themselves. It's always a veil, you know? So we really have to focus on this and dig deep on this, family. This is why I, I decided to have this conversation, because it's very much needed, you know?
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just basically just keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? You know it's an old saying, you mind your own, you live long. I mean, take that responsibility. You know, if you done something or you done said something, you know, take that. Don't sit up and get to crying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be straight up. You know, bro, what was it like last month, bro? I'm up at the store. I just got off the phone with JT, right? I pull up at the store, I get out. Same passive aggression bullshit. You know, dude got knocked the fuck out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? All because he want to be up in the store. He running his mouth about another brother. Dudes. One of the dudes is behind the main man he talking to, bro. He texting dude. Like, come up here. He running his mouth about you.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Dude come up to the store and like, I went to school with this dude. Like, man, flawless. You know, he wasn't never one of them type of dudes, you know what I'm saying, that, use guns and all that other type of shit. He been knocking dudes simple since I was in the 7th grade. Came up there, dude came out the store, you know what I'm saying, and got slept. You got embarrassed.
Hmm.
You in the snow, bent over with your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wouldn't have never happened to him. All he had to do, he could have addressed dude himself. He talking to people that he ain't think, knew who that dude was. Dude right behind the dude, main man he talking to, texting him, telling him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people don't understand the words they be saying, and you know, the type of things they be saying to people. Like, man, that shit'll get you hurt for real.
But see, nowadays people hold people up in that type of bullshit.
Mm.
People like to rally around and huddle around them and act like they have to protect these types of people, you know. And this is why I did the show. Has alpha malehood been banned in our community? Because when you dealing with stand-up people, even with women, a lot of times they like to call those women aggressive, you know. But no, you just a person that's standing up for what's right, and you standing on your truth. But nowadays, people are alienated for that. It's cool to be passive aggressive and be subliminal and all that type of stuff. It's cool to do that. That's like the trolls that's coming up in here. Passive aggressive people. Scared to show their face, scared to show their account. Because 9 out of 10, this is people that we probably know.
Right.
And they sitting back listening, hiding in the corner, feeling like somebody talking to them.
Yeah.
And that's because the information is resonating with them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And instead of them listening and absorbing it and taking it for what it's worth, they taking it as condemnation. And see, that's perpetuating being a victim.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to learn from my mishaps. I'ma just keep saying that you wrong for saying what you said. Have you ever noticed that with some people? You get into an argument with them and they just focus on what you said.
Right.
They
And
Mhm.
then they
never
got
talk
people,
about what they said to you.
and then they got other people around them, knowing that they mans or they home girl done did wrong, but they still, you know, they still corny enough to play dumb
Mhm.
and act like, you know, instead he want to talk about what you did.
Right.
Mhm.
If your mans was wrong, your mans was wrong. If your home girl wrong, she wrong.
Yeah. Because they don't understand when you don't check them, that cycle continues and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's a lot more confusion, and actually people could get hurt over this.
Exactly. And see, these are the people that you have in the inner city neighborhoods now that's getting people killed and then crying at your funeral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are those types of people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all know them. People who done got their asses killed behind somebody else shit. They dead, and the motherfucker whose shit it is, they still living.
Mm-hmm. Still walk and act like ain't nothing happened.
And you better hope the motherfucker bring your mama a bag of Twizzlers at least.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You
So we really
know,
gotta understand, family. This is nothing to play with. It's not a joke, it's not a game. it leads into many areas in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
Yeah. Like
a
I
lot of
made
a
this.
lot of women get caught up with the passive aggressive man,
Mhm.
the dude that dress nice, he suave. You know, he got the nice car. He just seemed like a match made in heaven. And then as soon as you say something to him he don't like, he go upside your head.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's passive aggression. He's
Right.
afraid of competition.
They shy away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, boss.
What up, brother?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Can you mute yourself for a moment? I'm gonna tell everybody what happened. That was that was people was on there trolling, putting people's addresses out there and put 50K bounty on kids' heads for no reason. They talking about they gonna rob to their house, they gonna start robbing some people's house, start shooting. It was those Tommy Sonomore trolls and Victor Domes trolls and Chucky trolls.
They said that they was gonna put what on who said?
I don't know. I can't. This YouTuber right here. I ain't gonna put his name out there. Somebody stay up there trolling his page, putting bounty on his head and putting address on his. I'm putting his address out there, threatening his kids too.
Yeah.
And I
And
know
some
who
of
it was
that.
too. It was Victor
Yeah.
Dome, the king of the trolls, and who else? Chucky Chucky Doll and Tommy Sawyer more trolls. It was them. I had blocked them from. I had blocked them from my. I had blocked them too.
Yeah, bro. Just don't let them get to you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody but a fake ass account. You know.
They had ran this YouTuber out. They had ran this YouTuber by the name of Banana Fly. They just made her mad. Just and she just went up on. She just don't want to come to YouTube because these idiots kept trying harassing her. That was on his channel harassing the ladies too.
I mean, but trolls, bro. That all come with the game. That all come with the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Knock as many as them out you can, and keep it pushing. You
Exactly,
know.
bro.
And I see you be moving, man. I done seen your videos where you be out and about. I seen one with you in the daytime. I seen one with you at night, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. I'm gonna tell you that.
And see, with Jalen just came in here and told us, family, if y'all didn't really hear him in the chat, he's just talking about how these trolls are putting out people addresses, threatening to kill people, children, putting bounties on people's heads. You know, this is all forms of passive behavior. These dudes ain't built like that in real life. This is all, what we call cyber thugging, cyber thugs, all passive aggressive people who are nobodies in real life, who not going to do even 5% of the shit that they saying. That's why they coming up under other names, So we just have to understand what we have to deal with. You know, the trolls are gonna exist. Let them keep coming.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, just understand the difference
Mhm.
between real and fake. And that's the problem nowadays. Everybody's saluting passive aggressive behavior. We saluting that fake shit. And we like to demonize the real. That's what we like to do. When somebody's standing up and standing on what's real, it's always, yo, calm down. Or he must be mad. Nah, I'm not mad. It's called passion. It's called meaning what the fuck I say when I say it.
Right.
It's not about being angry. Because when a lot of people are angry, they don't talk. So it's not about that. It's really not. So what we gotta do, family, is the alphas, males and females, just keep standing strong out there, y'all.
Keep on fighting.
Exactly. Because we gotta show the difference
Yeah.
between them and us. Because nowadays it's cool to look like a weakling. It's cool to just accept shit. You know, it's no longer cool to have morals and to stand on certain things and not to take certain shit. Now they like to demonize you and say you angry.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Like one of the trolls came in there and said, "Do do any of us have women in our lives?"
Right.
Really. Mm-mm-mm.
You know, you see that? So because I'm up here speaking up on a real topic and I'm speaking passionately about it, I must don't have no woman at home and I'm angry. See that? All of
That's
those
lame.
things are passive aggressive statements. You see?
Yeah. And also it's identifying the cop out of your own damn feelings.
Exactly.
You don't want to stay on your own goddamn truth. And sometimes people don't understand this. When you do wrong, you still gotta analyze that you wrong and get back to analyze and stay on your own goddamn truth. People get
People be having people and shit, and you thinking that you riding for the right person, they righteous, and all along they done started some
All right, oh
shit.
my God, dude, oh my man, it's peace to y'all. I'm out.
You know, prime example, bro. Passive aggressive bullshit. Now, my man, I'm gonna keep his name. You know what I'm saying? You know, closed shop. You know, he was a part of this one bike club. He was a probie, right?
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, funny type dude. You know, when, you know, some of y'all don't know about that shit, but you probing, you do what the fuck your president and your brothers and sisters tell you to do, and you don't ask no questions. You know what I'm saying? And he was told certain things that was to help him, not harm him. You know what I'm saying? And silly shit. You a probie. Um, we don't want you drinking on your bike. Simple shit. Common sense shit. Um, we don't want you, you know, riding your bike with shoes on. You know what I'm saying? Now, he going behind their back hollering at other clubs, telling them, with his prayers, the obligations that he was giving him. And they went back and told his prayers. Now, I went to school with his prayers too. You know what I'm saying? Like 100% concrete. So he let the shit go. Then one night, dude get drunk on his bike and shit, wreck his bike, smash his fucking, ankle. He still got a limp from that to this day. So they put him out the club, bro. Like, they ain't had no sympathy or nothing. You didn't make it. You didn't make the cut. You out of here. So he trying to come fuck with us. Next thing you know, we hear these guys from the other club running their mouth. So when we finally, we had to sit dude down because my man, like I said, that they prayers, he 100%. So we chopped it up, and he like, yo, your man keep talking blase blase. So we set our bro down like, yo, if we hear his name come out your mouth or anything about they dipset, it's over for you. For sure, we get down to the nitty gritty. Come to find out, the whole time he out in the street running his mouth about, talking shit about that man's club and shit. Pass aggressive bullshit. A war could have got started because you mad because you fucked up, and now you wanna talk behind these brothers' backs and be out in the street talking about them. It was so bad, bro. One of his cousins was a part of that club. His cousin wanted to fuck him up. And we thinking the whole time that these dudes just hating on us. And when we get down to the nitty gritty, all this time, this nigga was running his mouth. So, sometimes, when people tell you stuff, you got to pay more attention and maybe do your research on it. Because sometimes you might could be entering some shit.
That's true, bro. I definitely agree with that. Peace, Uncle. What's up, King?
Peace and happiness to everybody. What's happening?
What's
Everybody
up,
on
bro?
Yes.
chilling, chilling. Quick question. Do you think it's a difference from people who are passive aggressive versus people who display passive aggressive behaviors?
You could touch on that, JT, first.
Now you go ahead. You go ahead, cause I got some in my throat. I follow up.
Want to touch on that, boss?
Okay, he said, what's the difference now? What?
He said, what is the difference between passive aggression and a person who displays passive aggressive behavior? He's saying, is there a difference?
Hey, to tell you the truth, it ain't.
What you think, Diaz?
I actually think it's one and the same. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the stream, but I actually read the definition to it. And the behavior ties into the whole thing, you know. And some of the behaviors is avoiding competition, avoiding conflict, or being indirect, dealing with conflict, blaming others, playing a victim. This is why, you know, I named the video what I named it, because a lot of our people stay stuck in victimhood consciousness. So yeah, it's actually one and the same, bro. What you think?
I don't think it's one and the same. That's why I asked the question, because I think at some point everybody displays those behavior traits. Some of them, maybe not all of them, some of them. That's why, I think it's a difference from a person who is passive aggressive versus somebody who displays that type of behavior sometimes. Because I think we all do at some time avoid conflict or blame others and all that type of shit. And some people may not want to look in the mirror and admit that about themselves, but I think we all display that behavior, but it don't necessarily make you a passive aggressive person.
Y'all brothers want to touch on that?
Well, to me, it's like, to me, it's just hand washes the other. You know, when it get down to it, all the behavior falls right into the lap. To me, there's no differential about that. Now, if we talking about situations, you know, that's a different conversation. But at the end, to me, all the same. Can't run away from it. That's how I look at it.
I
What
mean,
you
how
think,
could
Polo?
you? I mean, how could you practice something and not be involved in it?
I mean, from my standpoint, everybody has probably exhibited some of those behaviors before, but the
My
definition of
point.
it is, but the definition of it is, it's an habitual pattern of displaying those traits. That's the difference, bro. You're going to repeatedly blame others. You're gonna make it your lifestyle. Every time you get into a situation, you're gonna just look to blame someone. It's a habitual pattern.
Mm. Always feel that you the victim at all times instead of taking on responsibility what you have started. It's a
People respect you. People respect you more when you can say you wrong about a situation.
mm,
People can respect you.
Absolutely.
But see the key, but see the key thing to it is that's why a lot of situations never get resolved because the true beast of the situation, they don't want to admit that they was wrong. They don't want to tell the people around them that they was wrong. People literally they got hurt in the dirt behind what somebody else said, and it was a lie.
mm.
You know, people play dirty games, man, and people really walk around with that shit on their heart that they done got some shit started and ain't man or woman enough to apologize for it.
Mhm.
Because a person who perpetuates victimhood is one who never sees them being the aggressor in the situation. They're going to always come from the standpoint of them being hurt, even if they're actually attacking people.
Right.
You see, that person doesn't even realize what they're doing.
See, people always think that repetition, when you exemplify that, is always good. That's not true. You could that could render even when you're not acknowledge what you do wrong. And like he says, repeat habituary in what you're doing. So you have a lot of people out here, when they don't get check on it, that repetition is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they feel that nobody not supposed to say none of them because their opinion is the truth. But they fail to realize, like you said, brothers, you repeating this sick behavior. And all it's going to do is going to hinder your growth. It's going to hinder your maturity. It's going to hinder your acquired knowledge of wisdom. And we need to think about that. At the end, who are you hurting? It's really yourself. Now, there are some that's not going to check you because they got a lot of yes and thank you money. So, I'd rather a person say, JT, you making this mistake. I respect that person more if I do something and I'm getting deeper in the water and I'm getting fucking drowned and you can't even help me. So it's all now I'm bringing up association too. We gotta associate real motherfuckers that's gonna have their back when it's good, but they're gonna care if you and love you enough. Listen, you made this is a mistake. Correct that. You good. But a lot of us have become followers. And this repetition of this behavior is a cancer. And it's got to get that out quickly. That's it.
And see, we got to understand what we teaching our children when we display the behavior. A lot of us have children at home. So I wonder if your children know how some of us behave online. Because at the end of the day, your children watch how you solve problems. And if you constantly run from issues, that's what they're going to do. They're never going to confront anything in life. And we have to understand, family, that we have to be strong. But we have to show strength. We can't just talk it. Passive aggressive behavior is weak behavior. Not wanting to say what you want to say. Being afraid to do what you want to do. Thinking you need some validation before you do what you do. You have to validate yourself. You have to love yourself enough to want to correct yourself. You have to love yourself enough to say, this is how I feel. You have to love another person enough to say, this is how I feel also. And this is why I say we really have to watch passive aggressive people in our community, because they're a cancer. They're dangerous. Because they're the types to run to the police when them and another brother or sister are having an issue. You see? Because they're looking to avoid conflict. Because they're afraid if they say how they feel and you challenge it, they may not have nothing to say after. And this is passive aggressive behavior. And it's very, very dangerous, man. And we cannot teach this behavior to our children, because it's going to destroy other people, man. See, we have to love each other enough to watch what we do, because it affects people around us. We have to know that. You know, if I let my sons see I'm an irrational guy, I'm high strung, I'm just aggressive for no reason. If I let my sons see me acting like that, they're going to grow up and act like that. And now in the environment that we live in, when black men act hostile and out of control, they get murdered by the police. So I can't let my sons see me lose my cool in public, even in private. And I'm not going to sit here and say they haven't. And when they have, guess what I did? I apologized to him. I told him that daddy was wrong. You wasn't supposed to see that. You see? Because you don't want them to adapt that behavior. You don't want them to solve issues like that. And this is why passive aggressive behavior is dangerous. This is why it's dangerous. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. See, this is what a lot of our infighting is all about. And this is the basis of it. Passive aggressive behavior. You hanging around people you don't like. You're talking to people you don't like. But you just want to be part of something, so you acting fake and acting like you like people. Knowing you don't like this person, knowing you resent this person, knowing that you know you can't work with this person. Instead of you saying that and moving on, you think by saying that, that's going to cause a problem. So you keep going along to get along. That shit got to stop. Because it's going to come to a point where it's going to come to a head. And when it comes to a head, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be ugly. And we have to stop acting like that, black people. We have to stop dealing with situations from that space. Let us stop having to clean up our behavior. Why do we have to clean shit up? Why can't it be wiped up? Soon as it's spilled, it's clean. A simple spill shouldn't turn into a disaster. But see, the passive aggressive behavior is what keeps it going and going and going and going and going. And we have to see that, y'all. And we have to see how it's affecting us, how it's breaking down our relationships, why we don't have a relationship. And a lack of relationship is why we don't have culture. You wonder why black people don't have their own culture anymore. Because we've lost the art of relating. You know? And people use things that went on in their life, they internalize it, and they start creating these things, these mechanisms in their mind. They start playing these roles, and they lose themselves. They lose themselves in the role playing, y'all. And that's when shit get ugly. Y'all want to touch on that? Anybody want to touch on that, y'all?
I would really, really love for some of them females in the chat to get on this topic, man, because I know it's a lot of males who display these characteristics, but it's a whole lot of women that do too. And that's probably why they avoid joining this panel. So come on, ladies. Y'all need to join in and give y'all opinion on this. This is a great topic. DS1, when you come up with this shit, man? Come on, man. Where you come up with this, man? It's a great topic, my brother.
Yeah, man.
For
I just
real.
try to come up with topics, bro, that's really gonna help us.
Bro said, where you come up with this, motherfucker?
Excellent topic. But I would love to get some females' point of views on this, man. Because they do a lot of this. That's why they avoid.
I mean, you know, some people don't like to express their flaws, you know. It's all good.
It's all good, right?
But you know, just to let everybody know out there, that's what my channel was about. I'm here to help empower and help heal our family. Because we can't heal till we build. That's my motto. Heal before we build. We ain't gonna be able to build shit if we can't even talk to each other.
Thanks.
Everybody talking about let's build businesses and all of that. Let's build the trust first.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sound good.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, it's a few people, they say that shit, but they done been into it with people. I mean, not saying that, somebody can't come back from an argument, but think about what you're saying before you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fam. So I just threw the link in the chat again. See who else gonna come on. If not, I'm gonna shut this show down. Shout out to everybody. Y'all want to touch on anything? Plug y'all channels before I close out.
Well, check out my channel, JT Blackness. I got two other channels, but I'm not talking about those yet. I'm working on that. But check out my channel, JT Blackness. Got some content. Put the last two videos. Subscribe and like, and do the same thing on the panel. Or the other brothers that had their channels. and the ones in on the chat too. Good looking.
I mean, you know, Boss Hog Outlaw, Boss Hog Outlaw Hangouts, you know, my Hangout channel. You know, me and DS1, we did my sports talk earlier. You know, that was
What?
pretty cool. Yeah, we did the sports talk earlier on my
Ah,
jam. Yeah,
had to get in with that.
yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. You know, the next one, you know, it's gonna be on DS1's channel.
Cool.
You know, that's my hangout channel, Boss Hog Outlaw Hangouts, all one. Just put the shit together.
Oh shit.
But yeah, good looking, bro, for you know having us on the panel. You know, good looking for everybody in the chat that came through. Oh yeah, bro, we got something for him too, don't we?
Oh, facts, facts, facts. I'll be right back, family. Right after this stream, and I'll be right back, family, in about 15 minutes. We streaming again, y'all.
Mm.
You know, we're gonna talk about something totally different. You know, I think this conversation is really gonna be needed.
Shit, if DS1 a part of it, is damn right is neat.
Salute, bro. Salute.
For sure, all
Yeah,
the time.
I'll be tuning in, man. Thanks for the opportunity always, man. Great opportunity to connect with people all across the states, even in other motherfucking countries. It's always a pleasure, man. I love y'all.
Mhm.
Love you too, bro. Plug your channel, bro.
Much love,
Oh,
bro.
Uncle Steve. That's it. I'm on Facebook. Uh, what is the shit called? Instagram and y'all and YouTube. Hit me up, Uncle Shug.
Mm.
I hope y'all downloaded my CD by now, man. Put it in the chat again too, y'all. Check it out.
Yeah, do that, bro. Put the link in
Yeah,
the chat.
for sure, man. Thanks.
You already know. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody. Everybody on the panel. My brother Uncle Shug. My brother Boss, JT. Shout out to Psychopathic, you know, for coming through. This DS1 Ross. You know, shout out to the regime, of course. I'll be right back, family, about 15, 20 minutes. Another stream will be coming up, family. You've just been tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep Live. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for all further notifications. I'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes, family.
All right.
So thanks for looking out again. Peace. And we out.